Hi, and welcome back to the Mr. Brad Worden Show. And let me detail and document for you what I went through in the crazy 3-day detox. Well, firstly, let me tell you what it was. I'll go through the whole details of it. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But I did what they call the plant paradox by Stephen Gundry. And firstly, I want to say that this is pretty much a vegetarian diet or detox, and I'll get into what it all allows. But Sunday I started, I had regular lunch. I pretty much went the 3 days, maybe even a little longer. I had lunch, I weighed in after lunch on Sunday at 221 pounds, 0.6. And that was way too much for me because my normal healthy weight's probably like 180, 190. So I'm like quite a bit over, and I'd be in a chili head and having to prep. That's why I gained so much weight, and I definitely hadn't been doing working out like I normally do. Anyway, I got 221, started my journey from there. So in this plant paradox, pretty much all you're allowed to have is like greens and vegetables and maybe a little meat if you're lucky. Well, I was going to do the vegetable only diet, cut out anything bad, anything carbohydrates, anything with sugars in it. So Sunday night I started my journey with eating just plainly a salad, which I was fine because I had been used to like eating other stuff, so it didn't really kick in that bad. The next day, Monday, every day for breakfast on the 3-day, you have what you call the green detox smoothie, which is avocados, lemon, salad, mint, and a little bit of stevia, very little bit.
Water and ice cubes.
And water and ice cubes, just so that's what it is. So you blend it up and eat it. The first day I was still pretty chipper. I'm like, this isn't so bad. There was a video on it on the channel where I was downing it. Wasn't too bad. Went on that day to eat salad again for both lunch and supper, just regular salad. And then by that night, I was starting to feel a little bit weak and not quite right. Well, that night, I was tossing and turning, and I felt so sick and got a super bad headache and felt really warm, and it was almost like a withdrawal or the true detox or detox flu they call it, or what do they call it? Detox flu.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt so sick that night, didn't get a lot of sleep, was tossing and turning, woke up the next day, still didn't feel good at all. I had a super bad migraine headache, probably like on my scale like 8 or 9 out of 10, which is almost like unbearable. Then I tried the smoothie and some water with Propel, which was allowed, and was drinking both and washing it down with the water. And my camera person's like, do you want to tape this one? And I'm like, I just don't feel good at all. And I went on to like finish half of it, and then I lost it. Good thing I had my trusty bucket. I felt so sick, I just lost it. I couldn't keep it down. And then thought maybe I'd be good, so then I finished the rest of the drink and the rest of the smoothie, and then just totally lost the rest of it. Well, then my camera person told me, it says Tuesday, this is yesterday, maybe you should eat some meat because a little bit of meat's allowed. Well, I kind of cheated just a little bit because you're allowed like I think 4 to 8 ounces of chicken, just regular white meat chicken. And I went on that day to have chicken and salad for lunch and chicken and salad, a salad again for supper, 8 ounces at each. So I had 16 ounces of chicken. That made me feel a little bit better. Still felt weak, and I did some things like put together a trampoline and a dresser that day. So I was working probably harder than I should have been. Then I felt okay though, overall, just a little bit weak. And then today, for like a brunchy, lunchy, I had the smoothie again. Was able to handle it a little bit better this time. But then was working at school, and then only had the smoothie all day, and then got to the point where I weighed in. I did a short video weigh-in right before this, and then I actually lost 9 pounds, and then I had a little bit of taco meat, which helped because I still feel a little bit dizzy and fuzzy again and have a little bit of a headache. Then I am done. So the goal here was to get into better, healthier eating habits. This diet, in my opinion, is not sustainable for most people unless you really have strong willpower. 3 days was bad enough, but then it recommends a phase 2 where you go on for a few more weeks of eating pretty much just greens and maybe a little meat here and there. So unless you want to torture yourself longer. Also, this diet, it will help you lose weight fast, but it's almost a point where it's not sustainable, where you don't want to stick through it. And once you get off of it, as a trainer and coach and things like that, I know that most people will just put all the weight right back on. Like, I lost 9 pounds. I could easily put that right back on, like, in a day, going back to, like, how I was eating. The goal here is to just eat healthier in general, like not binge eating sugars and snacks and other things like that. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and mix maybe the soda out a little bit more, the sweet soda a little bit more, and maybe just try and get into more healthier eating habits just so I can keep off the weight and maybe lose a little bit more and get back into good working out habits. But yeah, as a chili head, it's so easy, so easy to put on a lot of weight, prepping, eating a lot before a challenge, eating a lot after a challenge, and I'm not going to stop doing necessarily challenges. I'm just going to try and be a little bit smarter about my eating habits here. Also, a side note, never ever get addicted to anything. Try never to get addicted to anything, because if you get addicted to something and you try and get off of it, like me, I was addicted to soda. Between the hardly not eating food and not having caffeine for 3 days, it was brutal. It was like a withdrawal almost from that. So, I mean, anything, whether it be like something not so bad or something really bad, never try and get addicted to anything that's addictive, even if it's coffee, caffeine, which isn't considered bad. But it's super hard to get off that stuff once your body craves it. I think that was part of the issue. But yeah, this diet, you can try it. It's one of the most extreme, hardcore ones there are.
It is good for inflammation. It's good for inflammation.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that too.
It did help with inflammation.
I had body weakness. I had bad headaches and like flu type symptoms, upset stomach, nausea. But in the end, like, I did feel like I lost weight. In that respect, like gut health and stuff, I feel a little bit healthier, and that, like, I can tell that my stomach actually went down and I feel better that way. It's just, it's a win-lose thing. You feel really sick doing it, but it does help you get a little bit better into a routine of things. But like I said, if you go off of it and you just go buck wild doing what you were doing before, like drinking soda again, eating whatever you want, that weight's just going to come right back on. It was just a waste of time for you. So I lost 9. I intend to hopefully keep most of that off, being in some healthy habits here. But that's what it was. And now I am done. And I'll get back to what I'm doing. I'll just try and be smarter about it. So you'll see me doing some challenges and taste tests in moderation, of course. And we will see you next time on the Mr. Brad Warren Show.